Hi everyone, it's Miss Akbari in the library. I wanted to tell you about a great book to read as winter weather starts to happen. It's called Let It Snow, and it's by the authors John Green, Maureen Johnson, and Lauren Miracle. This book is a romance, and what's super unique and unusual about it is it's actually three different stories that relate to each other but aren't necessarily involving the same exact characters. When this book was written, each of the three authors wanted to work together. They each came up with their own romance story of teenagers in the same town in North Carolina. And then once their stories were written, they shared them with each other and worked on some ways to connect them somewhat. So while the stories aren't sequels, they take place in the same area and they overlap just a little bit. So main characters in one story might be secondary characters in another story, which is fascinating. All these stories happen on Christmas Eve. There is a huge storm, a ginormous blizzard that's happening, and it impacts each of these groups of characters. And so the weather is almost a character in this story as well. In the first story, it's the main character, her name is Jubilee, and she is kind of sent away from home at the last minute. Her parents are in some major trouble. She thinks she has this serious boyfriend, but it turns out there's some problems there. And she meets someone on the train. They have to stop in this town, and events kind of happen from there. They end up in this restaurant. In the next story, a group of guys are kind of sitting around. One of their parents can't get home because they're stranded by the same blizzard. And so these guys decide they're going to go to the Waffle House because they've heard that these really cute girls are there, and they get there and things take a turn. And then in the last story, one of the characters, again, there's some relationship drama, but some of it centers around an adorable pet, a teacup pig. So if you like kind of really light and fluffy romances, if you like holiday themed stories, if you're a big fan of watching Hallmark movies from Thanksgiving through New Year's, all of those things might be a great reason for you to read Let It Snow. The other thing is there actually was a Netflix movie made of this a couple years ago, so maybe you've seen that, or maybe you'd want to pick up the book and then compare it to the movie. But like I said, it's a really unique read. It's a lot of fun, especially during the winter, and if you like a good romance, Let It Snow would be a great book for you to read.